we're going over the very basics. I haven't done one of these in a while, and I wanted you to have a starting point in case you haven't started yet, or you just got your cane, or you're trying to decide whether the cane is for you. And I'm going to show you two different canes that I use on a daily basis. This is my training cane, and I'm also going to show you the everyday carry cane that I don't hit bags with, that I don't practice with as much. I practice to stay familiar with it though. I do slice with it, I do strike with it, I do practice spinning it even to get my hands used to it. And that is this everyday carry cane. It's got this nice handle on it, paracord handle. You put your wrist through that so that you don't lose it when you strike, and it gives you a lot more self-defense options. It has this teardrop, but this is a more expensive cane. This is something that I keep in the car for self-defense because you can take these anywhere and everywhere you go. That's the benefit of a walking cane for self-defense. Cane self-defense, whether you're using one of these self-defense canes from a company like Cane Masters. Cane Masters, in my mind, if you're looking for a review of the top canes for self-defense, Cane Masters, in my mind, wins hands down because they have not just so many options. You can go to the link below and see what options I suggest. I keep it simple. They're inexpensive at this level. They're very expensive at this level, but it's really not an expense that's not within a value proposition. So you get your money back plus a whole bunch more when you get a cane that looks like this. It's going to last so much longer, and that's because of the process that they use to make it. It's not one of those everyday Amazon canes that I started with that you might have that will break over time or with multiple use. That's a great way to start, and I always say invest your time before you invest your money. So if you're still looking for what's the best cane for you, start with a less expensive option. This is about $40, $41, $42. This is the Cane Masters Dojo Training Cane. It's made out of oak. You keep oil on it, and it's gonna last you forever. You're gonna smash everything with it in training. You're gonna nick it up. I like to say that the cane doesn't bleed, and this has got knife slashes all through it. As I demonstrate to students over and over again, canes don't bleed. Someone's got a knife, you have nothing, or you have a big stick, go for the big stick. This one, you know, it's got a finish on it. It's gonna be a little bit more expensive. But if you need a cane for mobility or you wanna walk around with it, which is your choice, you're allowed to take this anywhere and everywhere you go. And no one, especially here in the United States, is allowed to ask you to prove that you need it. So a walking cane is a great option. This is the expensive version that I suggest. There are many that you could get. This is a less expensive, good starting version and a good cane to have. And I always say if you can afford both, get both. But always invest your time, make sure that's the right thing for you before you invest your money. Start with your palm facing the sky. We're gonna warm up. We always warm up before training with our weapon to keep the body safe from injury. Palm facing the sky, the long side comes out of your thumb. You're gonna make a cranking motion forward. As you do that, you're gonna throw the end of that cane, the long side, around, and it's gonna stay to the outside of your body, just like this. This is an outer orbital spin. And the only reason that I spin is to warm up the body, to condition the body, to lean the body out, to get stronger in all of your muscle groups, especially in your core, to develop strong calluses on your hand so that this thing slides through like butter through your hand and to give you a stronger grip. There are many, many reasons why I spin. None of them are about intimidating the opponent or the attacker. None of them are about swinging it in their face, trying to make them back up. I'm gonna be in this position, you're gonna be in this position, you're gonna thrust, you're gonna jab, you're gonna slash, and you're gonna knock them out for self-defense. But in training, it's like a boxer jumps rope, does push-ups, does squats, lifts weights. You're going to spin. After you spin it for about 30 seconds on the right, take your hand over your body to the left. This is my right hand, comes to the left. It's almost like a slap across the face. So you're gonna bring it across and you're gonna bring it back. Now, how to fight with a cane or how to use walking canes for self-defense. Anytime you're training with canes for self-defense, adding this spinning in across the body like this, and I can feel it really well, forces you to squeeze the muscles in your core, your belly muscles, your back muscles, improving your posture, improving circulation throughout the body, helping you get lean and strong. This can also be done if you need to sit in a wheelchair on the edge of the bed. If your legs aren't as strong as they used to be, and I always say, do both. Also train sitting in a chair. But these are the beginning spins. This is for conditioning the body. After 30 seconds here, put it in the other hand, palm faces the sky, the long side out of the thumb, and you're gonna crank forward. You might go backward first and it's gonna feel a little different. You're gonna get this part catching your wrist there. That just means it's going back. Go forward. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast. You can slow it down, but you need that momentum to get it around. Your hand is closed, but not gripping, not squeezing. Just closed enough so that the cane doesn't come flying out. Every once in a while, it's going to. This thing's gonna have a mind of its own sometime. That's all right. Pick it up and keep going. Bring it across the body and back. And again, this is just like a palm slap and a backhand slap. 1, 2, it's a figure 8 motion. A sideways figure 8, or I like to say infinity sign. We call this an infinity or endless spin. Just coming back and forth, back and forth. Oh, and I thought of something. Somebody said that I talk too much, which is absolutely 1000% true. And I thought of this. I'm also moving while I'm talking. Just turn the volume off and just follow me. Do what I'm doing. Don't find a reason not to get it done. Back and forth, stomach up and in. When you're ready, you go faster, putting more stress because, again, you're trying to build callus. You're going to be in this position for self-defense. You're going to slide it up into this position. Or you're going to be in this position for self-defense where it's down, and you're going to slide it up. See how I pop it up? That comes, that callus, that proprioception in your hand, that comes from the calluses. We're going to develop spatial awareness, timing and distance, all those good things that you get from spinning. But again, yeah, I get it. I don't like my stories sometimes either. And I do watch these back and I think, oh man, I'm just droning on there. I would have turned me off 5 minutes ago. And they probably did, which is totally fine. That's why I make one of these every other day. Hopefully they'll come back and they'll find something they like. Now, I want to get right into the basic strikes for self-defense because this is a beginner lesson. You want to learn how to use a walking cane for self-defense or how to use canes for self-defense. Start with your hand on it like you use it to mobilate or to walk. I don't know if mobilate's a word. You just walk around, right? You put your weight on it. But get your weight on it because we want to make it realistic. We want to make it work. It's got to be practical. It has to work or we're not going to do it. So your weight is on it. The thread is coming in. You're going to get into a better position using the length of your walking cane to keep the bad guy away from you, out of your face. If they've got a knife, if they've got some kind of weapon that they're trying to reach your body and stab you with or harm you with, you need this distance. You want to have them at bay. You want to have them as far as possible. That's a good 3 feet, right? 2.5 feet, 3 feet. They've got a knife, maybe it's 10 inches. If it's a long knife, 12 inches, machete, 18 inches. You still have a reach advantage. Plus, like I said, the stick doesn't bleed. From here, I'm going to thrust right into the face. I have an angular strike, and then I have a two-handed pushing attack, using this as a bar, smashing right through their face. And that's what we're going over now. Your weight's here. You're going to lift it up, step back to make yourself a smaller target, thrust into the face, bring it to your shoulder, and slash, going from the temple to the cheek, or the neck to the rib. Or maybe you're going down through the knee, smashing that knee joint. Or maybe it's a vicious animal. You're out for a walk, all of a sudden you have to defend yourself against a dog that's off the leash, off the chain, or a pack of them. They're trying to maul you. Your hand is here. Step in or step back. The only thing that's important with stepping in or back is that the cane is between you and the threat, and whichever hand is holding the cane, this is my right hand, that same leg is in front. That's my right foot. You can get there by stepping back with the left or stepping forward with the right. The advantage of stepping forward is it gets in their face faster. The advantage of stepping back, especially if they have a weapon, is that you increase your distance. Now they still have to get around that cane. That's how this works. You want to make them navigate your cane. You want to control the fight as soon as possible. For self-defense, you want to get in there, take control, and you do that when you can by putting the cane between you and them. Excuse me. The first one is a thrust to the face. Thrusting, simply extending that arm, squeezing the belly, feet flat on the floor. You're not moving. You need a solid foundation, right to the face, immediate, direct, explosive, no hesitation. And think about what this is. This is just a bar, long bar of wood, long stick, and that's going right into their nose, taking their teeth out, smashing their eyes. maybe in through the throat. You're going to immediately address the fight, going right into the face. From here, after that, I'm going to bring it to the shoulder. And the reason I want you to bring it to the shoulder is because I'm going to train you from the start to get tight strikes. Strikes that go between you and the attacker and not out here somewhere. This is what's common. This is what's easier for most people if they haven't worked out in a while or they've never done this. They're going to swing big swing wide, and it's not very strong. It's easy to stop. Instinctively, they'll jump into you, and your arm's out here. It won't do anything. But if it's here, it's going to go straight in, and it's going to break something, knock them out, smash their eyes, box their ears ringing, hit that process in the neck where the blood flushes out of the brain, and they go down to the ground, going into breaking that elbow joint. Maybe they've got that knife, smashing that hand, smashing the knee, smashing that vicious animal. So from here, stepping in or back, make sure it's in front of you, same foot, same hand, thrust, shoulder, strike, and then I want you to take your other hand on it and push, thrust. I had a student come down from Ohio this morning. We were working here, training in person. I work with him 3 times a week through this medium. So we dial up on Facebook portal, and I do training with him. And there's some things he can't do unless you're in person. So I said, all we're doing this morning for 1 hour, we're doing things where we can practice in person. And when it came to the cane, I said, look, I'm gonna put my hands on your chest, and I want you to just pull straight down. And he saw immediately, it takes very little pressure. Someone puts their hands on your chest, you bring this over the top and straight down, pulling in to you, just straight down. And what's happening is the bar of wood is on those nerves. Their hands, you just trap their hands. They put their hands on you. Maybe they're choking your neck. All of a sudden they're here. And then the next motion is thrust. Straight through the nose, the eyes, the teeth, the mouth, the throat, anywhere. Doesn't matter. This is a hard bar of oak. This is that cane master's cane. Down and thrust right into the eyes, right into the face. It's extremely effective. And so this gentleman from Ohio who was here this morning, immediately, because I knew he was skeptical. We're all skeptical at first until we do it in person. And he said, wow, that takes so little pressure. And I said, yeah, and you're gonna be pumping adrenaline when you defend yourself. You're gonna jam it in, you're gonna thrust it through their face, destroy everything for self-defense. Let's go over that again. This is your first combination, and I want you to practice this every day. We're gonna do it on the other hand too. So on the right hand first though, step up, let it slide down a little bit, thrust into the face, to your shoulder, angular strike, in with 2 hands, and then straight through as a finishing motion. Now, that might not be the finishing motion for real, because you're gonna ask yourself, what targets can I remove or destroy? And we're gonna go into that later as we do more of these training sessions together. Put in your other hand, step in or back, left hand, left foot forward, let it slide a little bit. That's why we did that spinning at the beginning. Thrust into the face, bring it back to the same shoulder, angular strike, temple, neck, arm, anything you can remove or destroy. Their ability to see, breathe temporarily or permanently, their ability to stab you with a knife, to touch you, to grab you, their ability to chase you or bite you. You're gonna thrust straight through with this angle, let it come back into that other hand, that's where it wants to go anyway, and then just pushing. And you can step into it if you need to, or maybe if they're too close, you just thrust. Just like doing a push-up. You're very strong in all of these motions, which is why I picked these for beginning motions. From here, let's do it again. You're gonna step in, thrust, shoulder, down, in, push. Put in the other hand, step up, thrust, shoulder, down, in, push. Now I've got a lot of these videos, so you can see, I just went to the wrong shoulder. Doesn't matter. You can go both shoulders if you want. But you can see, you can dial some of these up and see all the different techniques that you can learn, but all the principles of self-defense remain the same. Principle number 1, situational awareness. When you go out of the house, you get out of the car, you're getting off of the bus, going into the train station, coming out of the airport, it's the same thing. Look around, pay attention. Situational awareness is number 1. See the threat before it gets there. Number 2, get in a better position, the cane between you and the threat. Either step in or step back. Number 3, ask yourself, what are the targets that you can now remove or destroy temporarily or permanently? Their ability to see, breathe permanently, right? their ability to be awake, smash them here, hit them there. Both of those are very effective knockout techniques, especially when you have a solid piece of oak. Now, this is the other thing the gentleman this morning realized that he knew from before, but he reconnected with, because we've been doing this virtually for over a year. We haven't been able to train in person. He realized that the stick does the work, and he's a lot stronger than he thought when he has a piece of wood in his hand, that it doesn't take that much. It's not going to take much for you to be able to defend yourself. So when you have those doubts, am I going to be strong enough? Am I going to be fast enough? Yes, because you have a force multiplier. You have this long piece of wood. And look at that tooth right there. That's made to rip the flesh right off the face for self-defense, if you have to. We're going to talk about how to use that. Like I said, look at some of the other videos. And then this is episode 1. This is the first training session. I'm going to break it down, keep it super simple, give you 2 or 3 things to do every video for as many times as we need to. Look for the next one sometime this weekend. My body's here. I step up, I thrust, shoulder, down, in, push. Other side, bring it up, thrust, shoulder, down, in, push. That's your workout for today. Please like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. I'm sorry I did not respond to the comments. Just don't have time this morning, but you guys have been great. I've been getting some of these t-shirts out into the mail. If you still want a t-shirt and I have your size, this is it's not this exact one. It's one that looks just like this though. Same logo, same color. Go to pasquinelli.com and do the contact box there. Send me your name, shirt size, and your mailing address, please. First and last name, shirt size, mailing address, and if I have one, and it's first come, first served. I've already sent a couple out. I got since Amit, he sent me one right away. And I know some of you guys want them. Some of you already have, and I really appreciate that. I also appreciate all of you who have joined as members. April 15th, in just a few days, I'm going to pull names out of a hat for that 2-piece bow staff. We're going to do one 2-piece bow staff workout this weekend. I'll see you guys then. Thank you.